Hello and welcome to this week's podcast YouTube show with me, Kate May, Modern Day Mystic. We've got a jam-packed week of exciting things coming up for you in the stars. So first of all, let's go deep diving into what's happening. We have the full moon in Sagittarius. Now, full moons are very special occasions because they heighten all the energy around us. Sagittarius energy rules the 9th house in astrology, which is our philosophy, our learning, but also our pathway. So it's really like a destiny week for us where things will really come to life and to heighten what we really don't want and what we really do want. And it's like checking in on our pathway. Are we on the right path? Do we feel that we're in alignment? And if we do, fabulous. But if we don't, this is our week to realize maybe we need to leave some things behind. Now, this year is the year of the snake. So there's been an awful lot of shedding going on and releasing, letting go and releasing. And it's all part of like a transformation that's taken place within. And this full moon in Sagittarius just happens to be right in the middle part of the year, as if by magic. And this is a really good time to check in with those goals that you might have made at the beginning of the year, where you're perhaps some of those aspirations, maybe some of that manifesting has come true and you need to realign and reset for the next 6 months. Or maybe you've lost track, or maybe you've changed your direction. This week will give you a chance to really recognize your direction and to go with your soul. Now, the soul's energy, I've spoke about this before, is so important. And when you're in alignment with your soul, which this full moon is going to help to activate and bring, everything is just smoother and calmer. When we're led by our ego, and we do need ego, by the way, this isn't to say like we don't want ego. We need ego. Without ego, we wouldn't get anything done. We wouldn't get out of bed. We wouldn't be motivated. We wouldn't have a passion. So we do need ego. We do need an ego, but we don't want to obviously be egotistical there. However, there will be times in our lives when we are, because that's part of life and human nature. But this week is that soul connection, and truly, if you follow what's your soul path, what feels right within, not listening to that ego, not listening to everybody else, but just going quietly within and thinking, well, what does my soul want? And the bottom line is like asking yourself, what makes you happy? What makes your soul sing? Because if you can get into the space of what makes your soul sing, then do more of that. If you know what it is that makes you happy, that brings you joy, do more of that. Stop using this to be led by ideas and fantasies or what other people want, what we expect of ourselves in the world where there is so much pressure on us. Go within and feel what feels right. And that might mean that you've got to do some shedding. That might mean that you've got to relook at your job. Maybe it doesn't make you happy. Well, you're never going to be happy if you're not in the right job. And it's easier said than done. Well, just go and get another job. But you can certainly start to take action towards doing something that you really enjoy. You know, we've got ample amount of training and resources and so many free resources. There's nothing stopping anyone at any age rejigging their career pathway. The same as relationships. If you've been in a relationship that's just dying a death and that's not giving your soul what your soul needs, that happiness, that fulfillment, that joy, this full moon is really going to heighten what it is that you really, really want. So whatever area it is that you've got, check in with your soul. Am I really happy? Am I in line? And, you know, lots of you know that I do the Feng Shui now. And honestly, having the home in that balanced harmony, oh, it's just like a piece for my soul. Like every single room, I love coming home, I love walking into the room. It's just like, oh, just I could just melt in each room. And that's really where you find that inner peace. And I feel really sorry for those people that haven't got a good relationship with their home or are living somewhere where they feel unaligned. And it's not easy to just move. Some people are in those positions, but certainly you can do things to declutter, change around the energy. You can put certain crystals in places, you can put certain tarot cards, you can put affirmations. This will change the energy without even having to have a home analysis. The home analysis is like the game changer, the icing on the cake, but the game changer. But if you don't want to have that done, or you're not in a position to have that done, there is so many things that you can do. Now, Sagittarius energy is actually ruled by the 9th house, which is to do with our destiny, our philosophy, and our learning. So in Feng Shui, this represents the northeast area of your home. This is an excellent area to have books of knowledge, to have a meditation area, to have a mindfulness place, or anywhere that's going to have spiritual growth around you. And that doesn't necessarily mean to be like spiritualism. It's spiritual for me and spiritualism, two very different things. Spiritualism is a faith, it's a way of a religion, it's a way of being. Whereas spiritual is, you don't have to be a spiritualist to be spiritual, So being a spiritualist, you would follow the 7 principles, but being spiritual, you don't necessarily have to, because you've got different ways of being spiritual. But this northeast area supports that spiritual growth. And Jupiter is the planet of expansion, the planet of growth, and that just happens to rule Sagittarius. So it's a very exciting week if you want to learn more or expand more in your soul, in your heart, in your well-being, but also in your knowledge. So have a look at what you've got in that northeast area and see if it aligns to that spiritual growth that perhaps you might want to delve into. Now, I'm just going to read what is actually happening. And in a nutshell, the truth this week is going to set you free. The full moons bring things to light. So this full moon in Sagittarius is really about letting go of things that we might have clung on to that we think we need, but actually our soul really doesn't. And especially in relationships, out of fear, out of comfort, out of routine, illusion or safety, we may have been holding on to something that actually isn't what our soul wants. It's what our ego thinks that we need. So rise above any of the noise and everyday distractions and really tap into that soul level of what really would make you happy, and live your 10 out of 10, because that's what you deserve. So let me have a quick read here. This is not just about letting go, it's about an awakening. You are being called to look at where you've been holding yourself back, especially from any relationships areas, but any love that expands you, not confines you. Where have you stayed small to be accepted? Where have your beliefs about love kept you from experience its wild, infinite truth? The emotional clarity rising now may feel intense, but it's sacred. It's your soul guiding you home. And when we talk about love, we don't just mean love in relationships, we mean a love of joy, of passion. We've got Venus in Taurus, which is just so beautiful because it's all about feeling comfortable in our abundant state, but in our knowing our self-worth and what makes us feel comfortable there. Literally your soul guiding you to where you want to go. So it's not just like love in relationships, it's love with the jobs that you do, the people that you've got around you, most importantly the love of yourself. Now Jupiter, which rules Sagittarius, the planet of fortune, luck, change, positive change, movements, moves through Cancer. So it softly reminds you that the real growth begins at the heart, not in control, but in the courage to feel deeply. This is a moment to embrace your vulnerability as power and to commit to emotional honesty, no matter how raw. The full moon opens a gateway into the vast unknown, where releasing old patterns become the key to stepping into love rooted in freedom, not fear. Let yourself outgrow what no longer reflects your truth. The moment you stop grasping for certainty, the universe can finally show you what is possible. The truth will set you free. And here's a couple of quotes that I found. She is not a damsel, she is a dragon. And she's finally ready to stop shrinking to make others comfortable. This is not a week of goals, it's a week of remembering the power you buried in your bones. The full moon is given dark goddess meets ground priestess energy. Are you ready for it? This is not about becoming stronger, it's about becoming truer. Now go slay destiny like the cosmic king or queen that you are. So it's a very powerful energy this week. Now, the tarot cards that come in and represent Sagittarius, we have the Ace of Wands, which is a fire tarot card. So it represents all the energy of the fire sign, so including Aries and Leo, but obviously Sagittarius. And the Ace of Wands is like, yes, go for it. We've got that inspiration. We've got that spark of knowledge. We're ready to be excited and expand. Page of Wands, very similar to Aces there. We've got new ideas, new messages, but messages and ideas that are going to grow us, that are going to add to what we already know, going to expand us. It's exciting opportunities. We have Saturn in Sagittarius in the 10 of Wands. Now, the 10 of Wands is about heavy responsibility, pressure, and kind of dulling the sparkle a little bit, because Saturn is control and Sagittarius wants the fun. So we're not having much fun when we've got Saturn in Sagittarius. However, this indicates that we want to keep on going. We don't want to give up. We just want to keep on going. Light is at the end of the tunnel. We also have Mercury in Sagittarius, which is amazing, because Mercury in Sagittarius is all about exciting opportunities, travel, movement. Sagittarius is the traveler. They are the teacher. So this is like, again, expanding your knowledge, expanding your horizons, taking advantage of opportunities. We have the moon in Sagittarius, which indicates we've got that inner strength, that inner desire and power to keep on going, even though we might feel exhausted at times. Keep on going, because we will reach the destiny and we are through the worst. We have the Knight of Wands. He's our Sagittarian man. Comes storming in, unstoppable energy, driven, traveller, ready for action, going to sweep you off your feet, get things moving from one stage to another. So fiery energy is with Sagittarius. We have, of course, the Temperance, which is the major card that connects to Sagittarius. Patience, duality, getting a balance, seeing things from other people's points of view, getting the balance just right there, and doing things in moderation. But here we have that journey, that travel. So we're on a journey, and this is like that midpoint of like checking in. Are we on the right page? And do we need a bit more patience to balance things out a little bit more now? This for me is very much a guide card or a healer card. So you could find you are very much influenced around new guides at the moment, or healing energy as well. It is for me the recovery card. So I love this card when it comes up when somebody may be going through quite some challenges, because it does bring me, although we've got a bit of a journey ahead, it does bring me to recovery there. Patience, doing things in moderation, getting that middle ground, but certainly journeying. And obviously Jupiter, the Wheel of Fortune. Jupiter rules Sagittarius. So we have positive changes with Jupiter, and with Jupiter in Cancer and with the Sun in Cancer right now, we've got changes most likely around home, most likely around our comfort zones here, but positive changes. So taking chances, taking some action, making things happen. If we just sit comfortably, it's just not happening. So we need to expand now. We need to get out of our comfort zones. It will be all right. And as a Taurus who hates change, this card always pops up when there is going to be a positive movement, and it's like, do you know what? Got to just trust the universe in this. We've just got to go for it, because it will work out a lot better there. So they are the tarot cards that connect to Sagittarius. So it's a very exciting week. Talking of exciting weeks, I've had a fabulous week. I'm exhausted, but in a good way. When I last said to you what I'd been up to, I'd come back from the Mind, Body, Spirit Fair. I'd come back from Amsterdam. I'd turned 50 and been very busy with lots of things throughout May. June is just as busy. I've got full with lots of different events. So in this last week, we've had a stonker week at the Mystic Coffee Lounge at my shop in Portsmouth. It has been mental this week. Very good. And probably one of the days, Friday, I think, took record taking. So things are certainly expanding, shall we say, there. and positive changes are coming in. Now, I also this week celebrated my 3rd wedding anniversary. So that was lovely. We went out for a dinner down our favourite restaurant, which is Wagamama in Gunwolf. So we had a lovely meal there. I have no idea what I eat when I go there. It was something with duck and rice and all these other spices and things. I just pick something out that I like and go for it there. I don't really know what I'm eating, but it's always lovely. So we had a lovely little anniversary. I actually got the day wrong in my head. I thought it was Tuesday, but it turned out that it was Wednesday. And Thursday this week, we kicked off and started my tarot groupies. So it's something I've been wanting to do forever, but just time flies past and it doesn't happen. But finally got round. So if you've done any of my tarot courses, whether it's been online, whether it's been the e-course or face-to-face, and it could have been 10 years ago, if you've done any of my tarot courses and you're ready to learn a bit more, to ask some questions, to practice a bit more, or if you've done or currently in my psychic development group and you want to learn more on the tarot, then just message me or find the tarot group link, but message me, it'd probably be easier, and I can chuck you in there. There is a question that you need to answer, and that is when did you do the tarot work with me? Because lots of people have tried joining that have never ever done it. So you have to answer the question, and then I know that you've done it with me, or that I've done some workshop or something to do a tarot review, so you've got a bit of an idea. Now, it's a beautiful group, and it's not necessarily I'm not teaching it, but we did go through quite a lot of cards that were blocking some of the students on there this week that they'd had trouble with. So I will absolutely answer your questions on the tarot, and if there are cards that you get stuck with, we go through them. And then we have some fun practicing different spreads, so you get little readings. So we go live once a month in that group, and it's a great group to practice to get your confidence, because we want to build and expand Jupiter on that knowledge of tarot there. So that was very exciting to get that off, and I love doing that. What else did I get up to this week? Because it feels like it's been such a mental week. I've signed up to be a speaker at quite a few events, and the first one is next Thursday. So Thursday the 12th of June, and that is at Horndean Positive Living Group. I will be talking about numerology, which is a fascinating subject, and we will be looking at what numbers are for your life path, so perfect for this full moon in Sagittarius, where we want to know what our life path is and our destiny is. So numerology can certainly help with that, as well as our love numbers, personal power numbers. We'll be looking at all sorts there, and it will be a hands-on, so you'll also be getting to know what your personal numbers are. It won't just be me talking. So I believe it's £7 or £8. I'm not sure, but if you go to Portsmouth Positive Living, then on Facebook, then you'll be able to see a little bit more what time. I think it starts at 7:30 there. So super looking forward to that. Then the following weekend, I've got, I think it's the following weekend, I've got a Mind, Body, Spirit Fair down at the Gaiety Suite in Southsea. That's looking very, very busy. Then I have a talk on Feng Shui at a retreat in Victoria Country Park in Southampton that I've been booked for. And the following week, I have a talk booked on Feng Shui at a retreat, one-day retreat workshop. So these are on my website, by the way. So if you want to come know a little bit more, message me or go on my website, katemay.co.uk. So it's been a very, very busy week, one way or another. But very exciting as well. There was something else that I did in the week that I can't even remember what it was there. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't as important as I thought it was. But we are moving into this June now. We're well into it, coming into the 9th of June this week. I don't know where the time goes. So I am open to some Feng Shui readings if anyone wants to book a Feng Shui reading, which is probably my favorite now, and looking at all different areas of your house in line with the tarot, so we can see what really needs what's going on and what really needs to be done to improve things. from next week I will be from next week I'll be opening up how you can get power numbers, what colors resonates with you according to your Feng Shui power number, and what colors you need to wear perhaps for an interview or for exams, or just to bring you better success there, better increase in success, whether that's money success, health success, relationship success. We can do that for you. I'm just getting all the files together on that so I can create that for you. I have got some free downloads on my website. If you go to resources, there are some free tarot downloads, there are some free Feng Shui downloads. I am adding to that this Wednesday, so there will be more coming out on that, and that's just in the full moon in Sagittarius when we talk about expanding. So yeah, it's great. I will be doing something for the full moon. I tend not to do it in groups. I tend to do it either solitary or just with 1 or 2 friends, and we might go down the beach, we might just do it in the garden if I'm doing it on my own, but we will be doing some kind of ritual. And the reason I don't do it in big groups is because I just get fed up over the years where everyone's like, yeah, we'll do it, and then you put it all on and then half of them can't make it because this has come up or that come up. So I've just been over the years listening to my soul and found that things on a smaller level sometimes work better for me, or solitary where I can just come and go as I please. I'm not as driven to hold the space for lots of people as I used to be there. And that could be an age thing, but certainly my soul is a lot happier just pleasing itself nowadays there. So have a beautiful week. Enjoy this full moon. Certainly I would use the Wheel of Fortune card in your northeast area, because that is going to expand your knowledge and help move things along in a lucky way for you, bring lucky opportunities. Great card to also put on your altars there, along with any of those cards to do with go-getting, to do with movement, to do with opportunities that are coming in around you, and certainly exciting ideas there. We don't want the pressure ones, we want the fun ones, we want the exciting ones. So have a great week. If you want to book any readings or Feng Shui analysis, do contact me. And if there's anything that you want me to look at, any questions or any topics that you want me to actually delve into and share my knowledge, let me know. Let me know. Last week I did have a few people saying, could you talk about XYZ? So let me know if there's anything particular that you'd like to understand a bit more, then we can certainly look into that for next time. Have a great week, everybody. Thank you very much.